I was unchurched, but occasionally growing up, I would have, my Sunday school teacher would come down on the farm and pick me up. I was just a little thing. And that wasn't all the time. I didn't know church, what church is. I didn't know the terminology. My trouble came when I was a teenager. I had teenager issues. I had issues that kids have now. I had rejections, I had hurts, I had pains. I'd got into some trouble trying to fit in with the crowd. And I'd graduated high school early, but I had a daughter out of wedlock, and it seemed like the world turned their back on me. I was already out of high school, and I was in a dark place. I felt emotionally just drained, and the weight of this little baby on my shoulders. And I thought about going down to the lake, because I lived close to the lake, and just walking in there and just walking home. But my boyfriend came, and he had been a worldly person, and all of a sudden, he was talking about somebody named Jesus. He had a smile that you couldn't wipe off of his face. He was talking about going to church and Bible study, and God had been working with me for years. I wanted to go to heaven. I wanted to be right. I was hiding a bunch of stuff inside. And he had not been churched very much either. All he simply told me was, come on, go to Bible study, a prayer meeting with me. Just come on. It was in someone's house, and it was on a Friday evening, and they were all around the room. And they started out talking about how each one had been saved and the joy that they had all around me, and everyone had a testimony. Well, of course, they came to me and they asked me had I been saved, and of course I lied. I didn't really know what saved was, but I knew these people had something that I did not have. Well, they all got down on their knees. I got down on my knees. And when I got down on my knees, I started pouring things out that I had done that nobody knew. But nothing happened. As they were down on their knees praying, I stopped the man beside me and got his attention, and he stopped. And I looked right at him and I told him, I'm not saved. I realized then I couldn't come to God with a lie. And I went back down on my knees. It was rough. I had a t-shirt on, my bell-bottom blue jeans, and I had an afro. I didn't even have shoes on. I done kicked them over somewhere, and I was curled up. I couldn't get like that now at my age, but I was balled up on the floor, and I was pouring out my heart to a God that I just realized is really real. I don't know what happened, but I know heaven reached down and touched me right where I was. I felt like the weight, I've never felt that before, but the whole weight of a world lifted off of me. When I came to myself, I was no longer down there. I was up, sitting in a chair, just weeping and praising God and thanking Him. And when I left that building, that living room, when we were going home, the whole world looked new. And I was new. The cursing had gone. I had a new way of thinking. I had a new way of talking. And everybody in that community knew that I knew God because I went and told them what had happened to me. And I know that He changed my life forever. He took my dark spot and made a bright day. If you are a believer now, don't be afraid to go tell somebody that's unchurched, because God has already went ahead of you. And all you may have to say is just, come on. Ask Him to be your Savior and watch Him take your dark days and make them into light.